Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever dreamed of hitting the jackpot in Vegas or just blowing off steam with a show and some slots, you know what makes Sin City tick. Crowds packed on the strip, neon lights buzzing till dawn, and that electric vibe of folks living large. But right now, in 2025, something's off. The casinos feel quieter, the fountains at Bellagio look a little lonelier, and the headlines are screaming about a tourism slump. Visitor numbers are tanking, down 11% in June alone, and experts are calling it the Vegas indicator. Is this just a rough patch after the post-pandemic party, or is it flashing red lights for the whole US economy? Could it mean a recession's knocking? Stick around, because today we're diving deep into the numbers, the why, and what it spells for your wallet. If you're feeling the pinch on your next getaway, hit that like button now and let's break it down. Let's start with the cold, hard facts. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, LVCVA for short, dropped their latest report, and it's not pretty. In June 2025, Sin City welcomed just 3.1 million visitors. That's a whopping 400,000 fewer people than the same month last year, an 11.3% nosedive. Zoom out to the first half of the year, and we're talking a 7.3% drop overall, with about 19.5 million souls showing up instead of the 21 million plus from 2024. July kept the slide going with a 12% dip, and August clocked in at 3.17 million visitors, down 6.7% year over year. If this keeps up, we're staring at the biggest annual decline since records started in 1970, worse than the 4.4% hit during the Great Recession in 2008. It's not just foot traffic telling the tale. Harry Reid International Airport, the gateway to all this glamour, saw passenger numbers slide 6.3% in June, 4.7 million flyers instead of the usual 5 million buzz. Even the roads are emptier. Traffic on Interstate 15 at the California-Nevada border dropped 4.3%, while major highways statewide only crept up a measly 0.9%. Hotels? Occupancy tanked to 78.7% in June, down 6.5 percentage points from last year, with average daily rates dipping 6.6% to $164 a night. Revenue per available room, that's the big money metric, plummeted 13.8%. And by August, occupancy was still scraping by at 77.5%, a 3.7% slide. This ain't your grandma's slowdown, it's the worst summer slump since the financial crash, and it's got locals whispering about pink slips in hospitality. So, what's killing the buzz? Buckle up, because it's a cocktail of economic headaches, global drama, and some homegrown gripes. First off, the economy's got folks pinching pennies like never before. Inflation's still biting at 4.8% for the year ahead, way above the Fed's 2% sweet spot, and consumer confidence just cratered to its lowest since April, down to 97.4 on the Conference Board's index. That's the fourth straight month of freefall, with the expectations index, a key recession watchdog, sitting at 73.4, way below the danger line of 80. People are shelling out more for rent, groceries, and gas, up 20% since 2020 in some spots, and that leaves zilch for dream vacations. Discretionary spending, the fun stuff like trips and buffets, is the first to get axed when wallets tighten. Layer on high interest rates, the Fed's holding steady to tame prices, and you've got borrowing costs choking everything from credit card debt, now averaging $6,500 per household, to car loans. Add in a shaky job market, layoffs are ticking up in tech and retail, and 22 states are already contracting, per Moody's chief economist Mark Zandi. Wages are growing, sure, but not fast enough to outrun the bill at the end of the month. Now, zoom out to the world stage. International visitors, who drop serious cash, think high rollers from abroad, are ghosting Vegas. They're down 30 to 63% from key markets like Canada, Europe, and Mexico. Why? Blame the trade wars and tariffs, President Trump slapping 30% on China imports alone, jacking up prices and spooking travelers. Canadians, our biggest foreign fans at 12% of visitors, are staying north thanks to exchange rates and rhetoric about making Canada the 51st state. Mexicans face stricter visas, $250 extra fees and crackdowns, and Europeans? They're flocking to cheaper spots amid geopolitical jitters from Ukraine and the Middle East. The World Travel and Tourism Council says we're losing $12.5 billion in foreign spending this year, and up to $29 billion if policies tighten more. Closer to home, Californians, 30% of Vegas traffic, are bailing too. Wildfires last summer scorched travel plans, and now high living costs keep them glued to SoCal beaches. Gen Z? They're scrolling TikTok over blackjack, ditching slots for sustainable vibes or staycations. And don't get me started on the heat. June hit 111 degrees Fahrenheit multiple days, turning the desert into a toaster nobody wants to visit. Conventions, usually a lifeline, are mixed, up 1.5% for the first half at 3.2 million attendees, but June dropped 11% due to rotating events. Bottom line, fewer bodies mean less buzz, and Vegas thrives on crowds. Alright, the million-dollar question: is this Vegas slump a crystal ball for recession? Short answer: yeah, it's a screaming warning sign, but not the apocalypse, yet. Vegas has been the canary in the coal mine for decades because it's all about discretionary dough. When folks cut fun money, Sin City feels it first. Back in 2008, a 4.4% visitor drop kicked off the Great Recession. 2001's dip mirrored the dot-com bust. Today, with a potential 7% full-year plunge, it's the sharpest in 50 years. Economists are piling on. UBS pegs recession odds at 93% based on hard data like slowing GDP. Atlanta Fed's Q1 estimate hit -3.7%. JP Morgan's at 40% for year-end, with GDP crawling at plus 0.25% in the second half. Consumer confidence is in the gutter, lowest since 2021, with more folks betting on a downturn than any time in 12 years. Tariffs could spark stagflation, slow growth plus sticky inflation at 6.2% expected. Nevada's economy is 37% tourism, 100,000 jobs hang in the balance, and ripple effects at airlines, suppliers, even your local diner. But hold the panic button, not everything's doom. Gaming revenue? Up 3.5% in June to $1.16 billion, and 5.5% in August to $1.22 billion. The diehards who show up are betting bigger. Conventions are a bright spot overall, and UNLV's forecasting a soft landing, no full recession, just slower growth at 1.7% GDP for 2025. Fed rate cuts could juice things by 2026, dropping to 1.4% growth but rebounding after. It's a suavizado, as they say, not COVID chaos, but a wake-up call. What does this mean for you and me? If you're planning a Vegas jaunt, snag deals now. Room taxes could drop 5% in 2025-26, and airfares are dipping with empty seats. But nationally? That $12.5 billion tourism hit drags GDP, spikes unemployment to 5% by 2027, and squeezes retailers already whining about soft sales. Everyday Americans, especially those under $35,000, are hanging by their fingertips, buried in debt while the rich keep spending. My take? It's the first domino. Cut your own discretionary fat, skip the impulse buys, build that emergency fund. Vegas is pivoting smart, more F1 races, AI personalized shows, even eco events to lure Gen Z back. Projections say a rebound in 2026 if rates fall and tariffs chill. Wrapping this up, Vegas emptying out isn't just bad for blackjack odds, it's a mirror to America's wallet woes. With confidence tanking and odds of recession climbing past 50%, we're all in this high-stakes game. But hey, the house always has a comeback, and so do we. What about you? Skipped a Vegas trip this year because of costs? Or think it's overhyped? Drop your take in the comments, I read them all. Smash that subscribe for more Real Talk Econ breakdowns, and share if this hit home. Until next time, stay sharp out there. Peace.